If you want a pair of wireless Samsung earphones right now, you have three choices. But the right one might not be the most expensive one. Today, we look at all three of Samsung's current Galaxy Buds lineup, and we determine which one is the best. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back to Tech with Benefits. You're here with Daniel. When Samsung announced the Galaxy Buds FE just the other week, it got me thinking about why they needed to exist. But when you consider the rest of the Galaxy Buds lineup offers something different to what these do, you might be wondering which one of these is the right one for you if you're in the market. So let's put them to the test. I've got three categories to compare them across. I've got the design of the buds and the case. I've got the sound and the microphone quality and the ANC difference between them, and also the software, because there is substantial difference in the software offerings between the three of these. Let's start with design. The design of these couldn't be more different from each other. The Buds 2 Pro and the Buds 2 have some similarities, but the Buds FE are a completely different kettle of fish altogether. Starting with their fit in the ear, the Buds FE has the wingtip design, which it has brought back from oblivion from the Buds Plus and Buds days back into the forefront in 2023. This design helps it stay securely in the ear no matter what sort of activity that you're doing. The Buds 2 and the Buds 2 Pro have a more similar design to each other. However, the Buds 2 is a little bit of a lighter option and it works on just fitting snugly in your ear and hopes that it stays in basically. Whereas the Buds 2 Pro has a bit more of a engineered design about it. It's got the little hump there to kind of fit and contour to the shape of your ear and hopefully stay in place. It also has a different size ear tip to the other two. It's more of like a hollowed out chamber, and again hoping that it kind of just fits and slots into the natural shape of your ear. The Buds FE for me, just on fit, is the winner, because it just sits comfortably and the wingtip keeps it in place. Away from the fit and looking at the actual touch area and the design of it, the Buds FE again is an outlier. It stands apart from the other two. What they've done here is it might not be as designed aesthetically pleasing, but it's definitely more practical. It's got a flat touchpad area, and this absolutely will help prevent accidental touches if you do ever need to fiddle around with them, which honestly, that will never happen. The Buds 2, it's a glossy finish, and whilst it looks quite aesthetic, the surface area of where you're meant to touch it isn't defined. So if you are fiddling around with it, which may need to happen based on their design and their fit, you will definitely get some accidental touches out of it. And the same can be said for the Buds 2 Pro. They have a more matte aesthetic, which is definitely more premium and looks prettier, but probably the least practical of all, because the touchpad is definitely not defined, and when you do have to fiddle with these, you will touch it. You just will. There's a different bit of design with the Buds 2 Pro as well, as they have a chamber at the top, which is like an air vent. It's basically meant to help relieve pressure from building up over time when you are wearing these for long periods. When we look at the cases, there's not a lot of difference between them in terms of their shape and their look and their size. The big difference comes in sort of their finishes. The Buds FE and the Buds 2 are the same in terms of their look. They've got the same glossy finish. They've both got the white case with the color of the buds on the inside of the case only. The only difference between those two cases is the Buds FE has no wireless charging, only charges USB-C. The Buds 2 can accept wireless charging through the case. The Buds 2 Pro takes a completely different approach. It's got a matte finish on the case, and I've got the black pair, and you can see it's just a nice matte black finish. Definitely looks more premium. But again, I would argue that it's not necessarily practical, because the matte finish on these buds kind of collects dust and kind of becomes a bit sticky, whereas the glossy finish is much easier to keep clean. So that's just something to consider. From an overall design practicality wise, the Buds FE is my choice. I loved the wingtip of the original Galaxy Buds and Galaxy Buds Plus. Their fit and the way they stayed in my ears, second to none. So for me, from a practicality point of view, their design is a winner. The wingtip and the flat touchpad area, so practical in use. The Buds 2 and Buds 2 Pro definitely have the aesthetics when it comes to design. The Buds 2 Pro look sensational, and they definitely have the more premium look about them. But the Buds FE absolutely accounts for it in practicality stakes. Next up is the sound experience. So I've used all three extensively. The Buds 2 and Buds 2 Pro I've used a lot down the years, the Buds FE just more recent. There's no recency bias here though, because right at the top, the Buds 2 Pro, just hardware wise, have better output. They do. But is that enough? The Buds FE do sound good. They have a clear, crisp sound profile, and the bass is just enough to kind of get you through. They get the most out of the single driver speaker that is inside it. Buds 2 take it that little bit step up, whereas the Buds 2 Pro instantly notice the difference. Whilst there is that clearness about the Buds FE, as soon as I switch from them to the Buds 2 Pro, wow, it is a completely different ball game. I kind of already said this in some other videos, but it's like going from a high-end TV with sound to a soundbar. That switch is noticeable. You might never notice it if you just have the TV, but the second you add a soundbar in, you can differentiate between the two. From 1 month to the next. Now let's go. Focused on the camera. So it's time to see what has changed from 1 month to the next. Now let's go. That's what it's like across all three, to be fair. The Buds 2 Pro have that premium high-end soundbar sound about it, whereas the other two are kind of more like higher-end TVs. So you feel that difference. That's not to say the Buds FE is bad, you just notice it when you do go up to the higher end. I would describe the Buds 2 Pro just having an insane depth of sound, but they're crisp and very powerful sound. And it's crazy that they're coming out of something that fits in your ear. You do have to hear it to get the most out of it, but the Buds FE and the Buds 2, still good. From the sound of voices, there's probably not a lot here that you'll have to complain about with all three. Like, for this, you don't really need to worry about a podcast when it comes to listening to voice. As long as you can hear what's happening and it's loud enough, that's really the main thing, and you can do that with these. The ANC is where there's a difference. The Buds FE and the Buds 2 have a 98% ANC coverage to blocking out external noise or dulling it. The thing that I noticed though is that the Buds FE with their wingtip create like this passive seal around your ear and stop external noise coming in without even ANC needing to be active. But you add that into the equation and you've got yourself a really capable noise cancelling package out of the FE. Better than the Buds 2, hands down. The Buds 2 Pro have a 99% ANC coverage, and that definitely is noticeable when you're wearing them. But there's something about that passive plus active that really combines well together. Because the Buds Plus and the original Buds didn't have ANC, and I found the passive noise cancelling in both of them to be really good. So now that they've added in active to the equation too, yeah, I'm about it. Now let's get into the microphones. Now I have recorded videos using all three Buds, so I'll play them for you now, and you just get a feel for how each one of them sounds.
Okay, this is the Buds FE in my ear, and this is what it sounds like when I'm talking using the Buds FE and recording to video. And this is what it's like to talk using the Buds 2 as my microphone, again recording to video, how they sound. And this is the Buds 2 Pro. Theoretically, these should sound the best, but you let me know these are recording the video as my microphone right now. The advantage to the Buds is you can kind of just walk around the room and face away from the phone, and you don't have to worry too much about where you're standing because you're recording using your Buds. I like that a lot.
As you heard, there's not a discernible difference between the three of them. All three of them actually have three microphones to tap into when it comes to clearly articulating voice, and there's not a lot of a difference between the three when recording video, for example. Where you notice the biggest difference is the Buds 2 Pro, when linked with a Samsung phone, of course, have 360 audio recording capabilities. This makes a difference. Let's play that for you now.
Something else you can do with the Buds 2 Pro is 360 mic recording. So using these, you can kind of get a holistic 360 microphone recording experience. So this is another one you can throw into the mix as a feature of the Buds 2 Pro.
As you heard, the other two, the Buds FE and the Buds 2, do not have 360 audio in the software of the phone to tap into. The Buds 2 Pro, when that's switched on, it's crisp, and what's really great about it is you can walk anywhere with the Buds 2 Pro on and it'll pick up that audio clearly because it's attached to you and your voice. Whereas the other two are relying on the phone and you're so far away from it, it can't work. So that is a clear advantage. If you're someone who needs that microphone recording capability, The Buds 2 Pro give you the sound profile, they give you the ANC, plus the exceptional microphone capability through the 360 audio recording. Definitely something to factor into it when you are making a decision over which one of these you might want to get. Then we get into the software. There's a lot of differences here. This is where the differences really start to break away from each other. All the other stuff is important, but if you are someone who likes to tinker and likes extras, you might want to know what's in here. The Buds FE is pretty much the standard Galaxy Buds experience. You have the active noise cancelling, you have the ambient sound that you can toggle on from the buds themselves or from the app, and that's it from those point of view. You get the labs, which offers the gaming, but that's it. There's nothing else in there. Everything else is sort of as standard. You get the seamless connection, you've got the in-ear detection for calls, Bixby voice wake up, all of that's there. All that stuff that you might want. The Buds 2 does elevate. You get things like 360 sound. That's in there. That's really the main elevation. In labs, you do get the double tap for the edge of the buds to add some extra things like volume control. That's within the software of the Buds 2. But the Buds 2 Pro is where all the juicy stuff is. All the extras, all the stuff that Samsung have put into their buds goes into the Pro version. Things like voice detect. I remember when this came out with the original Buds Pro, loved it. What a convenient feature. The fact that it can auto-detect when you start talking and go from active noise cancelling to ambient sound, let noise in, lowers the volume of your media, and then as soon as it detects you're not talking for 10 seconds, puts the media volume back up, goes back to ANC and allows you to carry on without needing to touch your earbuds. Genius. You also have the 360 audio. Again, with that head tracking, that's part of the core Buds 2 Pro experience. Samsung have also thrown in here neck stretch reminders. So I guess they have an understanding that when you're looking at your phone, you've got your buds in listening to stuff, it will remind you periodically to stretch your neck up and get yourself into a comfortable position for your safety of your neck. And they could roll this out to the other ones, but it might be to do with the head tracking thing, maybe. The other thing the Buds 2 Pro has as well is more labs features. Samsung do like to experiment, and their higher end models have more capability. So having the extra labs features in the Buds 2 Pro definitely makes sense, as they will be the ones likely to be able to handle it better. It's got the earbud edge, touch, tap area. I remember when they brought that into the original Buds Pro, it didn't work very well, but I'm saying it's improved here, definitely with the design as well. It can sharpen the call sound, which I think is kind of cool. Its whole purpose is to boost the call clarity. So when you're out somewhere noisy in particular, it'll help sharpen using some software and some of the features of it to sharpen the noise of your voice so it comes through better on the other end. And the last one in Labs 2 is extra high ambient volume. This is particularly useful if you want to hear more of what's happening from the outside. It'll amplify the sound of the microphones and bring the noise in a whole lot louder than what it normally would. Samsung used to have different levels in the software of their buds to be able to adjust the ambient sound. Seems like they've just made it simpler and done away with it, which is fine. This is here in case you do need extra volume. So, 3 Galaxy Buds, not equal. Some excel in some areas, some excel in others. Some are just kind of that awkward middle child that you wonder why they're still here. So for that reason, Buds 2 are out. My 2 picks would be between the Buds 2 Pro and the Buds FE. The cons of this is no wireless charging, but it has so many pros where it's got the wingtip design and the flat touchpad area, which is securely going to keep it in your ears and make it very convenient to change tracks and interact with it, versus the incredible sound feature set of this and the actual features itself in the software of the Galaxy wearable app. I wouldn't want to choose. I've been using these. I haven't picked up these since I've got these. So maybe this is my choice. Maybe for their price, for their value set, and for what they offer, this could be the go-to, your new Galaxy Buds FE. Let me know which one you think you would take down in the comments below. It's not an easy choice. Some of you might be bound by price, and that would automatically put you in the Buds FE bracket. But if you're not, I would probably consider them anyway. So you let me know which ones you would take, the Buds FE, the Buds 2, or the Buds 2 Pro. Thank you very much for coming by. If you liked this comparison and you enjoyed what I had to offer, please subscribe. Got a lot more coming. Next year's going to be massive. Really enjoying the community I'm building around Samsung products in general, so come stick around for that. Between now and my next video, make sure you come find me on Twitter/X and also on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Yo!